Yo, what's up? What's up? Welcome back to my page. It's your boy JT Lit, okay? And we are here to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 2. The ladies have finally made it to Scotland, so we're here to talk about that. Before we get started, make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe, let your boy know that you are here, all right? But yeah, let's get into it. Guys, listen, as it relates to this episode, it has shown us that I feel like the Housewives in general, just the franchise, doesn't have much longer left because though I feel like it was a good episode, I'm not gonna take that away from them. I feel like what it's showing us is we're at that point now where everything is just self-produced, self-produced, self-produced. It is not really about solid, genuine friendships anymore. It's literally who's gonna get the best got you. It's literally just looking up information about somebody, preparing yourself for when y'all have a shade battle. Um, and yeah, it's literally that. So we'll again, I'm gonna still watch the show for what it is. I don't take any of this too seriously because I don't know these women in real life. These women don't know me. So yeah, let's just get into it. So the episode kicks off with the women. They're heading to the airport, and we kind of see a montage of them getting out of the car one by one. Pinky is hilarious to me. Like I said, Pinky is like the cousin. Pinky is always talking on that damn phone. Now, Pinky, I know you got a few dollars to get you a goddamn Bluetooth headset because you always got that damn phone in your hand talking to somebody like some goddamn body's auntie. But yeah, the ladies are at the airport heading to Scotland. They are going for Phaedra's birthday. Again, this is a trip hosted by Portia and Phaedra. And Pinky talks about in her confessionals how, she hopes that this is going to be a healing trip that brings the group back together. She was like, the friendship needs to file for bankruptcy because, baby, we are a mess. It's so funny because when they all get to Scotland, if you're a fan of the traders, you kind of see how they all transport to and from the castle, and they always have these little like SUVs. I don't know if they're Jeeps. I don't know if they're Range Rovers. I don't know what kind of SUVs they are, but it's always like three or four in a car, and they kind of were filming it like that. And in the car, we see Pinky, I think is Kelly, and then K Michelle. And K Michelle was like, "Ooh, this is gonna be so fun," like all sarcastically. So yeah, we kind of get a montage of that. Now, when the women pull up to the house, we see this man outside, and he's tall, dark, and he's a black Scotsman. Scotsman. I feel like it's the right terminology. And I remember this trend on TikTok when everybody was so shocked to see that there were black people that lived in Scotland, black people that live in Alaska, um, black people that are well, we knew black people lived in England. It was just like it was a whole trend on TikTok. I remember this. I remember this. But my question is this: okay, so when they pull up, Kelly is sitting with K Michelle, and she was like, "Ooh, he looks like Idris Elba." Now, the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I wonder if K Michelle in her mind had the same reaction to like the whole oyster thing. Um, because we all know, at least I knew this. I knew K Michelle dated Idris Elba. And I think she made that whole, was it the VSOP album? She made a whole album about him or something, and he didn't acknowledge her. It was something along the lines of that. Now, I wonder if K Michelle took that as shade, like, "Oh, this is a plot. You trying to come for me? You say he looked like Idris Elba. You trying to trigger me?" I was expecting K Michelle to say something like that, but she didn't. At least if she did say it, they didn't show it. But I just wonder what K Michelle's thoughts were when Kelly said that. I wonder if she thought it was another plot against her. So when the ladies in the house, it was a lot going on, like immediately. So the ladies get in the house. Everybody except for Portia and Phaedra are like sitting at the table. I guess they're eating while Portia and Phaedra go and check out the house, get a house tour to kind of see where they're gonna put everybody as far as their rooms. Again, this goes back into the whole where it's too overly producing a damn show. Because one thing Phaedra said as they was watching this, because they were on one floor and it was like three rooms that are next to each other, which we see who end up getting those rooms. So y'all plan worked. But it was three rooms that next to each other, and Phaedra was like, "Oh, we need to put She was like, oh, I feel like people right here got to have good synergy. We need to put people who don't like each other together. But back at the table, again, it is a lot going on at this table. I think it was Shamea. It was either Shamea or Drew. They didn't show the person who said it. I just heard the voice. But somebody asked Pinky, "How's the movie going?" And Pinky's like, "Yes, we're moving. We're still going full steam ahead." Trina, well, Shamea is going to be getting the role of Trina, who is in the show. Shamea is happy about that, and Lay's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, congratulations." And then here come hating ass Angela was like, "We all should do a cameo in the movie." And Pinky's like, "Oh, okay, yeah." In her confessional, she's like, "Baby, casting is closed. All right, we good. We don't need you over here, trying to join a movie." But then the ladies kind of drift off into a conversation with Kelli, and they're just asking Kelli, "How's everything been going with you?" And Kelli lets them know, "Look, yeah, Phaedra, she's representing me. I have all these legal woes coming up. Shamea was gracious enough to let me and my family stay in her home." And the ladies are like, "Okay, cool, that's great." And then she kind of gets to the conversation of like, it's difficult for me to be vulnerable in this group because I feel like when I'm vulnerable, you guys are going to throw it back in my face. And Angela was like, "Oh, well, that's hypocritical of you because you're the one that said that I was a part of some other plot or whatever," something she said. And then Kelli was like, "Well, I remember when I had my charity event at Wilson, what was it called? William and Sonoma?" And of course, Angela is in the weird defensive mode in this episode. Like, it's like, Angela, baby, what's going on? Because after they have that conversation, then her and Shamea get into it because Shamea is like, no, okay, it was Drew. So Drew chimes in, and then Shamea's like, "Okay, so what are you doing?" So that's when we kind of find out, again, it's like teams here. Angela and Drew are a team. Kelli, everybody, it's like we breaking up into teams. It's giving goddamn the Avengers. Like, what? Why is everybody? It's like 2-on-2, 2-on-3, 2-on-1, 4-on-4. It's like, Jesus, I can't keep up with the things here going on. So then this is where it gets really weird.
It went from worse to worse, sir.
Because Shamea and Angela, like I said, they're going back and forth. And Shamea's like, "Angela, I need for you to stop calling around asking about me. 2 people have called me and said that you were calling asking about me. And you're saying that you're trying to go against my marriage." So then the conversation of a man named George comes in. And I guess George is like a cash for crash type of attorney, ambulance chaser type of attorney. And Angela's like, "Well, he said that, he gave you money." And Shamea was like, "Yeah, he gave me money for my damn foundation, for my breast cancer foundation. Like, what are you talking about?" Okay, so then Portia and Phaedra, then they come back to the table, right? So it was so much back and forth going on in this conversation. It was so much deflection, that it was like, okay, it was giving me a headache. And then it was so obvious what was going on. That's why I'm so irritated with the last scene of this episode. And I'm not even going to spend too much time on that because it was fake. But the gist of the story is this. Angela has been calling around asking about Shamea, and she's trying to put a story on Shamea that this man named George, who apparently is also her neighbor, who is married to a woman named Ashley. Another thing I'm getting irritated about with these shows is a lot of the people that are not on the shows having such a big part of a damn storyline on the show.
Now, you done piss me off.
It's like, that's why I feel like Housewives really is coming to an end. But anyway, Angela is really trying to put like Cynthia says, she's trying to put so many bodies on Shamea. God damn, you said she done had sex with the Falcons players. You said she done had sex with the goddamn Hawks. Like, Jesus, like, what are we doing? But anyway, Angela's trying to insinuate that this man paid Shamea, and then also Shamea is having sex with him. That is the gist of what she is trying to do. And Shamea's like, "Girl, that man donated to my damn charity." And then when she confronted Angela about it, like, "So why are you even calling around asking about me?" Angela was like, "Well, I wanted to see if it was going to be offensive to talk about you." And Shamea was like, "Why would it be offensive to talk about me or talk to me?" Then Angela's keep going around talking about some, oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to hurt your feelings. And Pinky, Kelly, everybody at the table, like, girl, if you don't say what you got to say, like, what is it? Even Phaedra was like, girl, just say, what is it? What is it? Angela's like, okay, Shamea, so are you fucking him? Are you fucking George? And everybody's like, oh my God.
I'm so tired, yeah. I'm so tired. I'm really tired.
Angela is whack. Like I said, Angela, as the whole situation with the daughter, Angela tried to regroup so many times in this episode, and every time she tried to regroup, it failed. It fell flat, and it was a complete chop. You were caught in a lie, and you kept trying to recover from that lie, and you never could, because Shamea was like grounded in facts, and she was grounded in, I'm gonna vindicate myself in this moment, and I'm not gonna wait from a few episodes. I'm not gonna wait until the reunion. I'm gonna vindicate myself in this moment. And I wholeheartedly believe Shamea learned that from Kandi. I feel like if anything, as far as advice from like an OG, a friend of the show, a friend who has been a housewife before, I feel like Kandi was on some, you better vindicate yourself in the moment, because it will drag, and they will try to drag it out. And Angela was not prepared for Shamea to have the receipts that she had right then and there when she needed them, because Angela would have carried it out. Now, Portia, I'm going to get on you a little bit, because you keep saying you don't want to be in it. However, you keep putting yourself in it. And you keep putting yourself in it and then trying to say, oh, I'm not in it. You did it a few times this episode. This is the one time you did it in this episode when you were, when they were trying to figure out, I think they were trying to figure out his name, and you said the name. You was like, who is so-and-so, so-and-so? And Angela was like, no, his name is George. But then also, Portia, you kind of told on yourself a lot, because you was also like, he's married, right? So it's like you know who she's talking about, you know what she's referencing, and then you want to say, oh, I'm not in it. And I'm really happy that Shamea called you out. Now again, listen, I'm balanced. I try to be fair as possible. Now again, I might throw my shade at Kelly, I might throw my shade at K Michelle, but I try to be balanced. I go based off of what I see. And in that moment, I'm glad Shamea also caught it, because she was like, when Angela and Portia was looking at each other, Shamea was like, don't be bucking eyes at each other like y'all plotting and shit. And Portia's like, look, I'm not in it. No, it's like, yes, you are in it. You're just in it in the shadows. But again, queen bee behavior. If you're the queen bee of the show, whatever, quote unquote, I guess you are the puppet master behind the scenes, right? But again, this is not vindicate Shamea saying Shamea is innocent, because Shamea is also messy, and Shamea also has puppet master ways against her. But when it comes to Shamea and Angela, I am on, obviously, Shamea has it. Shamea has it. And last season, I still think Shamea was manipulative towards Angela. I feel like Angela had some kind of vendetta against Shamea because of that. And it just fell flat in this episode. It fell flat. You were proven a liar. The ladies were even laughing at you at one point because how much of a liar you came off as. But yeah, let me just kind of get back to what happens next.
Okay.
Shamea also at the table is in control of the narrative. She asked the whole table, she's like, can we all agree that this woman just insinuated that I'm cheating on my husband? Didn't look like anybody was answering like that. K Michelle brought up a phenomenal point in the confessional. She was like, if any other woman here at this table would have been accused of cheating on their husband, it would have been a big issue.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Angela, like, isn't that one issue you've had been mad about with Portia and Phaedra and stuff like that, about the husband stuff? So it's like, Angela. And another thing, Portia, you talking about Shamea, you're becoming defensive. Absolutely, she's becoming defensive. You just said that I'm off. You just insinuating that, one, I'm fucking the Hawks, I'm fucking the Falcons, I'm fucking some man that then paid you. Now you're saying that I'm fucking for a check from this lawyer, and then like, no, yes, I'm going to be defensive. So Portia, that's why I gotta talk to you, because you are being messy and you are being into stuff, saying you're not in it, and you are. The women also talked, and Cynthia, I'm a little bit to you too, because she was talking to Shamea, and she was like, Shamea, it kind of seems like y'all all kind of like pick each other's beefs. And Kelli in her confessional was like, look, it's called being a friend. All right, we're not ganging up on nobody. It's just called being a friend. Okay, Michelle also lets her know, look, I'm not no follower. Okay, I can't follow Shamea. Shamea can only lead me to the mall. So they get into that, but Angela, you caught. Angela, you caught. So the women go upstairs into their rooms, and then this is kind of where it gets more and more messy, because again, Angela, you think you're a part of the cool girls, and again, as much as you talk about Portia in her confessionals, I feel like Portia might see you for who you are, because she definitely put your ass next to Shamea and Kelli, the area that of the people that was like, oh, we're gonna put the people here that don't like each other, and they're next to each other so they can hear each other talking. So Shamea is in the room talking to Pinky and Kelli, and she's like, let me look at this text message I just got. So Shamea got a text message from Ashley, who again is George's wife. Again, people who are outside of the fucking show that we talking about. But Shamea got a text message from Ashley. The text message read, it was like, give me a call, whatever Angela's saying, she's lying. And Shamea was like, yeah, that I didn't know you had an issue with me, and I didn't know you thought I was sleeping with your husband. She was like, I never said that. Angela's lying. Angela overhears, and she's like, because Shamea was like, I should call her. Angela overhears and was like, call her. And Angela's making this scene, and it's just like, you look so foolish, because they're literally in there knowing you lying, knowing Shamea is vindicated, and they close the door and they just in there laughing. Like Kelli opens the door, Angela's like, peekaboo, I see you. Like, Angela is whack. Angela is a fan of the show that got on the show, and I think that's another reason the Housewives is about to be over, because it's like, it's too many fans. And we all love Rhode Island now because it's like new ladies and all of this. But it's about, we see on the reunion how it's all about receipts. And I'm looking up this about you, and I'm looking up that about you. Oh, God, it was crazy. So anyway, then Portia and Phaedra come back because they hear all this yelling. So when they get back and they hear all this yelling, they're like, what's going on? Shamea's like, look, do y'all... And I find it so ironic to who Shamea is saying this to, but she was like, do y'all know when rumors like this happen, it just sits it just sits, and it can just grow, and it can just, all this can happen. And then Phaedra's in her confessional was like, yeah, everything that's been done to Shamea has been done to me. Phaedra, you literally would put off this show because of something exactly like this, of a rumor that you were a part of, and you too, Portia. Ain't nobody forgot about that. So I found that to be comical. And then also, let me know if y'all caught this as well, because Phaedra said something about when it relates to getting tied to this man George. So was George Mr. Chocolate? Because why did they show the flashback of Kenya saying you've been sleeping with a man named Mr. Chocolate, and then she was talking about George? Let me know if I missed that up. Let me know. But anyway, so then Portia goes into Angela's room, and she's like, look, yo, the Shamea thing is done. Let's just leave this right here. So Angela looks at her, and then she's like, I'm about to call Ashley. Angela, why did you do that? So then Angela calls Ashley, and Ashley's like, look, girl, I ain't never called. I didn't tell you that Shamea was having sex with my husband, nothing like that. Like, I never said that. And Angela was like, yeah, I never said that you said that. I never said that information from you. And then Ashley drops it and was like, yo, you called me asking for information about Shamea. But that's it. And then Angela had to end the conversation real quick. She was like, okay, all right, thank you, Ashley. Yeah, and my daughter will be over to play real soon. Thank you, bye.
You cannot trick me. You cannot trick me.
And everybody's like, boom. But when Ashley was on the phone and was like, yeah, you called me asking for information about Shamea, you see Portia awkwardly, because Portia and Phaedra sitting on the bed. You see Portia awkwardly kind of like try to tap Phaedra's leg, like, bitch, did you hear that?
What's going on? Hell
no. And then when they hang up, Portia's like, okay, so where did it come from, or who did it come from that George was fucking Shamea? And then Angela was like, it came from me. I never said that. Ashley told me that.
My God, today.
And it was like, what? So you just admitting that you lying? So then again, we kind of just fast forward. So then the ladies are getting ready to go to lunch, dinner, and they all again separate and get into the Jeeps or the SUVs or whatever. And then we see in the car it is Pinky, Shamea, and K Michelle. Then we see Angela, Portia, and Phaedra, and then we see Cynthia, Drew, and Kelly all in the car, and it's just like a montage of different conversations. And then in the car with Shamea is telling Kay and Pinky, like, look, I'm married. When there's rumors like this, they sit, and they grow. And Pinky is like, look, I'm glad you had those text messages because they did vindicate you in that moment. And then as we see it happens in the next scene, Shamea is like, it don't matter because she's going to come up with something else. She's going to come up with another issue. Then we get over to Cynthia, and Cynthia's like, look, I'm cool with Angela, but I don't believe what Angela is saying as it relates to this. Now, this is another part where something is missing in the story, because then we get to the car with Portia, Phaedra, and Angela. And Angela's like, I'm going to address the issue because Shamea said something to my daughter down at Maddie Madness, and I'm going to address that issue. And Portia and Phaedra looking like, what did she say to your daughter? So then she's like, oh yeah, I didn't tell y'all. And it's like, okay, so I'm still on the side of Shamea should not have said that to Amari last week, and I'm still on the side of if I was a kid and you said that about my mama, I would have cussed your ass out, regardless of me and my mama beefing or not. But Angela, now you just really, 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 really trying to drive home and make a point to have an issue with Shamea, even though this is something that could have been an issue. Following the sequence of events that have just happened, girl, you're trying to deflect and still trying to keep the heat on her and take the heat off the fact that you just got caught in several lies.
Girl. This girl is delusional.
But the thing that threw me off was this. And when they're having the conversation in the car, Pinky, K Michelle, and Shamea are also having the conversation. So how does Pinky know, or how they didn't show us how that conversation came about? Because in the car, all we hear is Shamea saying, yeah, I said it. I was being sarcastic when I said that. So maybe Angela has already told this to Pinky, I guess. But again, she ain't told it to Portia and Phaedra. So I don't know how Pinky knows this information to ask Shamea this in the car. Because Pinky, you might be a double agent though. I think everybody's just trying, and we kind of see that again at the table, where everybody is trying to self-produce and everybody is trying to be the bone carrier, and it's like starting to get irritating. But anyway, then and I'm about to wrap this up because I don't want this to be too long. But anyway, the ladies then get to the restaurant. So the three ladies get to the restaurant first. It's Pinky, K Michelle, and Shamea, and they're sitting there, and Shamea is like, okay, so I want to, since we're here, I want to get this issue out with UK. Like, what you brought it up that there was an issue at Maddie Madness, but like, what is the issue, whatever. And then, K Michelle just kind of tells her, look, you said this, it hurt my feelings, I was in a car. And then Shamea was like, well, I'm always in an awkward place because when you bring them up, I have to defend, I feel like I have to come and be in a defensive place because those are my friends. And K Michelle was like, I don't bring them up, you bring them up. And you're always kind of letting me know what it costs you to be my friend. If you're gonna be my friend, but don't tell me, oh, these people are mad at me for doing this. Like, if we friends, we friends. So they kind of squashed the issue. Again, look, Shamea needs all the allies she can get because the other team is coming at her and she just needs to have some allies, man. So then the other women come, overproducing. Portia comes, sits down and was like, everybody sit down like, so what y'all talk about? What y'all talk about? Everybody, what y'all talk about? And then Portia's like, Pinky, did you do your job? And I'm like, oh my God. And Pinky's like, yeah, I did my job, but you didn't hold up your end of the bargain. So I guess the bargain was going to be Portia was going to get Pinky to get Shamea and K Michelle to talk. And then Pinky was supposed to get Portia to get Drew and I don't know who else. Was it K Michelle to talk? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, just overproducing. The ladies have a conversation. Next, the ladies have a conversation about, who's all gay. They all gay, low key. Who's kissed the girl before. We saw Shamea get up and she definitely got up out of that scene real quick. but then she ended up coming back at the end. So like they're making it a point. Everybody's talking about this. Pinky lets us know she was in a relationship with a woman for 3 years. Phaedra throwing her shade like, yeah, I'm surprised she married a damn man, child.
Ooh, is that shade, Phaedra?
Then they come back, and then when Shamea sits down, that's when, again, overproducing, here comes Drew. Portia, didn't you say Shamea kissed the girl? Didn't you say she kissed Candy? And everybody looking at her like, bitch, that was so whack. Like, that was so whack. Like, and Shamea's like, I've kissed the girl, but no, I didn't kiss Candy. And Portia's like, okay, damn, Drew, you just ruined the mood. She's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, yeah. And it's like everybody's just looking for a moment. Everybody's just trying to throw somebody under the bus so they can have a scene. It's the show is just way too overproduced as far as for the cast. And that's just kind of where we are with it. That's just where we are with it. We didn't get Pinky. Pinky was like, look, I was on my first 2-on-1 car ride when I was in the car. She was like, yeah, I was in the car. It was me, Angela, and Drew. And it was cool. It was cool. Angela, how you doing? And Angela immediately goes at it. I'm good. Shamea, did you say something to my daughter? Y'all always trying to use y'all damn kids as a way to justify bad behavior and act as though somebody that done something to your kid is about to be like, you just, this is the main issue that you have. Because Shamea is like, yeah, I did say something to her. And yeah, I do think she's nicer than you. And she's like, yeah, but you're talking about my daughter. Like, and we already have a tumultuous relationship. And it's like, okay, I didn't know that. But still, like, baby, that's not the point of what we talking about. The point of what we talking about is your ass calling and lying on me, saying that I'm sleeping with somebody when I am married. Like, what are you talking about? To me, it's like the only rebuttals that I have ever given you are what you have said to me first. Listen. Shamea has her receipts. Now, Portia, when you was on the bus early, the Sprinter bus a few episodes ago with Kelli, talking about I am the receipt. No, baby. We need to see receipts like this. Shamea has come prepared. Shamea, it's like she gives her phone over to Pinky, and she's reading the text messages that they were going over earlier. And then again, here comes Portia. Here comes Portia coming out of nowhere, putting herself in it. Portia was like, because at first she was like, Pinky, can you read these text messages in your Baltimore voice? And Portia was like, nah, she's a little country. Read them in my voice. And everybody looking like, what? And Kelli was like, I thought you said you weren't in it. Now you're giving acting directions? Okay, whatever. So Pinky reads the text messages. Angela's sitting there looking stuck, looking like she's about to have a big comeback moment, and her comeback moment flopped. Shamea's point is that people will believe a lie and receipts come too late. Which is true. We've seen it play time and time again. So with that, once Pinky is done reading the text messages, here comes Angela like she got a big one-up you on it. She was like, yeah, but what you don't know is actually I called Ashley and we talked for 2 minutes. And Shamea was like, oh, 2 minutes. And she was like, and she agreed that I did not say that she said that you were sleeping with her. And everybody, it's like too tongue-tied now. It's like, girl, what? She was like, what? Angela, you got caught in a lie and you look stupid and you trying to regroup, but you can't. You trying to get your feet back on the ground, planted. You can't. Like, everybody at the table is like, oh no, there's no case. Angela's lying. The conclusion is Angela is a liar. Kelli throws shade and says everybody is doing the master's work. When she says that, we all know she's talking about Portia. And then the last scene, y'all, the last scene was so fake to me that I can't even like get myself together to like even talk about it. But it was Cynthia, Phaedra, Drew, Portia, and then after all this, Kelli walks in the room. There's headlines about her in the press about her ex is suing her for $200 million. She sits down, she's crying about it after she just said, when I'm vulnerable with y'all gonna throw it in my face. Oh. After she said that, it's the same day. Now you in there, now you hugging Portia, and you like, I don't want to fight with you no more. And then Drew is crying, was like, I'm looking at y'all ladies because y'all are going to be my example because I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay in my house or not. And then she's crying, and then Portia is crying, and then Portia's crying, Phaedra's quoting Bible scriptures. Portia's talking about some, I don't know, because a house of a home to me is with memories or something like that. And I don't know if I'm not in this house no more, that's okay because I'm going to be all right. And it's like, oh my God. That scene was so dumb. And I know in their mind, they were like, oh, we are giving Waiting to Exhale down. Oh, we are acting. We are giving sisterhood. We are. Baby, y'all did not. That scene was so performative to me. My God. But listen, Angela, stop lying. Just stop lying. But you're with the right crew. And again, I can, based off of the show, Phaedra, Portia, Drew, and now Angela, liars. And the thing is, a lot of people, women lie on this show. This is getting too overproduced. I don't know, y'all. What do y'all think about this? The place of where the housewives is. Like, do y'all think it's just like? I don't think they have another 20 more years. I don't. It's getting to the point where it's just getting too fake. It's getting too fake. But overall, y'all, I give this episode a 3 flames for sure. I thought it was pretty good, but also it's just like it's so overproduced. The women they're producing themselves too much to the point where it's just like, okay, what are we doing? Yeah, Angela, Angela, this was a bad look for you, baby. Bad look. Good look for you, Shamea. And another thing, it was so disappointing too because no one necessarily came to Shamea's back. That was another reason I was looking at Kelli. Kelli, she was trying to come in at the table, but nobody really was like, nobody said K. Michelle said it at her confessionals, but nobody sat there at the table and was like, had it been any one of y'all saying that you was cheating on your husband, it would have been a big uproar. So why is no one saying anything? So it seemed like Shamea didn't really have any backup, really. And that's why another reason, like after all that, Kelli, your ass still going to the other side when the tabloid about you after you just said it's vote. Kelli, that's what I be saying about Kelli. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Listen. 3 flames. This show's not about to stress me out. This is a TV show for entertainment purposes. I hope y'all feel the same as it relates to that. But yeah, listen, if you like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe in the comments down below. Definitely subscribe. Again, we are on the road to 100 subscribers. We are almost there. And then after that, we going to 200. After that, we're going to 500. Okay. So like the video, comment, subscribe. Again, I'm gonna keep saying it. Follow your boy on IG and TikTok. IG is JT Lit, JTWELIT. TikTok is JT Talking Lit. And I will see y'all same time next week. Peace.